Hello, Brian Comerford from Classroom Guidance here again with our 25th video, 10 clever exam techniques, how to maximize your exam performance and results. If you haven't already, subscribe to stay informed. Good exam technique can improve your results by 2 grades or 20%. So watch this 5-minute video on 10 exam technique tips, heed its advice, and you could go from a result of 50% to 70% without any extra study. 1. Mind your sleep. 2. Mind yourself, practice good nutrition and hydration. 3. Prepare equipment needed the night before. 4. Become calm and positive. 5. Read the exam instructions very carefully. 6. Calculate the time for each question. 7. Read all the questions in the entire paper. 8. Think like an examiner. Put yourself in their shoes. 9. Never leave an exam early. 10. Keep the postmortems to a minimum. So let's have a look at these tips in a little more detail. 1. Mind your sleep. Exercise each day. Leave your phone charging in the kitchen at night. Have your last meal at least 3 hours before going to bed. Avoid caffeine after 5 p.m. Green tea is a very good alternative. Psychologists tested 3 different groups on content learned the previous day. The first group were allowed sleep for 4 hours and they scored a 40% average in the exam the next morning. The second group had 6 hours sleep and scored a 50% average in the exam. And the third group had 9 hours sleep and scored 90% average in the exam. 2. Mind yourself and practice good nutrition and hydration. Hydrated students score 5 to 10% better when compared to dehydrated students. Foods such as nuts will give you a gradual release of energy across the exam. Energy drinks, sweets or chocolate may give you an initial rush but leave you feeling tired later in the exam. 3. Get all equipment needed the night before in your bag. Looking for things that morning is not a stress you need, nor is it necessary. 4. Become calm and positive by arriving 20 minutes early to the exam centre and finding your seat. Say to yourself, I will have access to all the things I have learned and everything I have ever heard or read. I will be brilliant. 5. Read the exam instructions very carefully. Understand how many questions you need to do, the choices and options you have. 6. Calculate the time you need to allocate to each question. Stick to your time plan. You are more likely to do well if you attempt all your planned questions than writing brilliant answers to some and not attempting others. Have a buzz alarm on your wristwatch or Fitbit that alerts you when your allocated time is up. 7. Read all the questions in the entire paper to get a good understanding of what's ahead. Prepare your answers for each of these questions. Use headings or mind maps or spider diagrams. This way, as you work on one question, you will also be subconsciously working on the rest. If you think of something you can add to a question as you're doing another, make a note of it where you sketched out your answers. Select the questions you will answer. Rank them in order of your best to your worst. Start with your best question, but don't fall into the trap of writing too much on it. Studies have shown a 10% difference in results when the examiner is impressed at the start. This is called the halo effect, where they give you the benefit of the doubt and assume you know stuff. In contrast to your first question being a disaster and the examiner thinking you know little. It also keeps you positive and boosts your confidence, which has an impact. 8. Think like an examiner. You need to put yourself into their shoes. Help them see where you deserve marks by providing answers that are clear and easy to read. It's a simple exam tip, but can make a real difference. If you have to restart a question, do not obliterate it. Draw an X through it and restart. The examiners must correct every question on the paper and give you marks for the best versions, so never obliterate answers. Make sure your exam number is on every piece of paper you give back also. 9. Never leave an exam early. Ignore any friends who leave and invite you to go also. Leave plenty of room at the end of each question for things you might add on the final read through. There are always extra marks somewhere. Keep reading over the paper, correct spellings, improve it, and things could just pop into your head. 10. Keep the postmortems on the exam to a minimum. Go for a run, a walk, or kick a ball around. Get ready to repeat the process in the next exam. Very important point. Do not change your CIO choices based on how you thought you did in the exam. Change your mind by all means, but do not let how you thought you did in the exam be a deciding factor in your choices. If you haven't already, like, share and subscribe to stay up to date with our video guides. Thank you and good luck.